Welcome to the release webinar for the December 17, 2015 release of Bernard. In this webinar, we will review 24 new enhancements that include a new volunteers module to allow a partner to be marked as a volunteer and have the associated activities tracked, new additions to the email integration with MailChimp, a new application-wide skin for MyBernard, and additional new features within partners, queries, reports, rapid entry, and the web API. The first two enhancements that will be reviewed are overall changes to the login process as well as to MyBernard. Our first enhancement is to the login process. When logging into MyBernard or Rapid Entry within 5 days of your password expiring, you will receive a prompt notification that your password will expire. If within MyBernard, you will immediately be given the option to update your password. For our next enhancement, Bernard has set an application-wide skin within MyBernard. You will now notice that MyBernard has been redesigned for a cleaner look and feel, as well as consistency throughout the web application. Through this, you will notice new icons, as well as a new consistent look and feel to grids throughout MyBernard. Our next 5 enhancements relate to the Volunteers module in MyBernard, which is a new feature for this release. For our first enhancement within Volunteers, within a partner record, a partner can now be marked or designated as a volunteer by clicking within New Volunteer within the Partner Actions box. This will then take the user to the Volunteer Details page. For our next enhancement, when viewing a partner previously marked as a volunteer, a new link is available within the Actions box labeled Volunteer Details. Within this page, a user can set volunteer-specific custom fields, assign the volunteer roles, define the volunteer's general availability, as well as record any hours worked by the volunteer. For our next enhancement, a Volunteers tab is now available for users with the security right Volunteers View All Volunteers. Within this page, a user can view, search, filter, and export a list of all their volunteers from within one page. Users can filter and search based on the volunteer's availability and the volunteer's contact data. Additionally, the current page view can be exported in one click. The export file will display all their volunteer contact data, their availability, and all volunteer-specific custom data fields. To support the new volunteer functionality, 2 new options have been added in the Administration tab. The first option, a customized list of volunteer roles, can now be created. Additionally, each role can be determined to be active or inactive, can have a maximum number of active volunteers, and can have a value associated with that role. The next change to support volunteers is to the custom data fields. Custom data fields are now distinguished into 3 types. The 3 types are as follows: partner, volunteer, and major gifts. Additionally, system users can be given read-only or edit access per each custom field type. Our next 4 enhancements include changes to the Partners module within MyBernard. For our first enhancement, when viewing a partner, there is a new report available within the Actions box. The new gift and order history report will let you provide a date range and report back on all gifts and orders made by a partner within that date range. Additionally, this report will provide you with summary sections for both gifts and orders for the lifetime of the partner. Finally, your organization's logo can be displayed in the top left-hand corner of the report. Please contact support@mybernard.com for more information. Our next enhancement to partners is to allow some query fields to appear on the partner screen within MyBernard and within RapidEntry. Your database can now be configured to automatically display a set number of query fields when viewing a partner within MyBernard. In order to provide a list of query fields to display within your database, please contact support@mybernard.com. This feature is also enabled within RapidEntry when viewing a partner. Our third enhancement to partners is the ability to reorder the panels displayed. When viewing a partner within MyBernard, the panels displayed can now be customized to meet a specific user's preference. For example, query fields can be moved below custom fields, or personal details could be moved to the very top. The view will be saved on a per-user basis, so each user can have their own unique view. Our final enhancement to partners is to the Gender Identification API. When saving a partner within Bernard, we have integrated NetGender's API library to automatically assign a gender to a partner. This functionality can be turned off by contacting support@mybernard.com. Our next 4 enhancements will include additional functionality to the integration with MailChimp for email appeals. Our first change is to the subscriptions list, which can be found by clicking on Appeals, Subscriptions. Within the Appeals tab, when working in the Subscriptions page option, you now have many enhanced abilities, including creating a subscription as an email or a seed, viewing the count, as well as being able to export the list in one click. You can also add or remove partners in bulk to a subscription list using a CSV file with a list of partner IDs. Our next enhancement to the MailChimp functionality is the ability to leave a pull as waiting to send. If you're using Bernard to send eBlast through MailChimp, you will now have the ability to create a pull and mark it as Keep Pull Pending at Email Provider. Selecting this option will send the names to MailChimp, create the campaign, and leave it available for further editing within MailChimp. You can then send or schedule the email within MailChimp when you are ready. When collecting email statistics nightly, Bernard will update the polls and collect the statistics if the email has been sent on the MailChimp side only. Our third enhancement to MailChimp functionality is to allow the user to edit the subject and from address of a MailChimp template at once. When selecting a MailChimp template within Bernard, a user can now edit the from address and subject at the same time. Our final enhancement to the MailChimp functionality is to import new contacts from MailChimp as well as import partner changes. If using Bernard's MailChimp integration, Bernard will now automatically look for new names added to MailChimp and create them within Bernard if the MailChimp email does not already exist within Bernard. Additionally, you can specify a subscription list within Bernard that they should automatically be added to. This job will look back the given number of days and runs at a specific time of the day. For our next 7 enhancements, we will review changes with the Queries module, the Reports module, as well as one new enhancement to inventory. First, let's review the changes to the Queries module. Our first change to Queries was to alter the procedure to create custom fields by type. When creating new custom fields within your database for partner, volunteers, or major gifts, they will automatically trigger the creation of the corresponding query fields in MyBernard. Additionally, the custom query fields will be separated into the 3 categories. Those categories again will be partner, major gifts, and volunteers. Please allow 10 to 15 minutes for the process to run and your queries to be updated after the creation of new fields. Our next enhancement was to add a new query type for volunteers. A new volunteer's query type is available. It can be used for volunteer-specific information such as volunteer details, roles, and specific volunteer activity. Our final enhancement to the Queries module is to allow a file with a contact ID to be uploaded for use as a reference in queries. Within the Queries tab, there is a new page named File Uploads. Within this page, you can upload any CSV file with a list of Bernard partner IDs to be used as criteria within a contacts query. When building a contacts query, you will use the query field with partners in file, which will allow you to include or exclude the partners in your uploaded file with the current query. Next, let's review changes to the Reports module. For our first enhancement in reporting, when scheduling a query or report, you can now add a note to the specific schedule. This note will be displayed in the delivery email for the query or report. Our next enhancement is to report I-1018 inventory SKU status. This report will now be able to use the date range provided and report based on a given point in time, providing details for activity within the date range as well as an on-hand cost, quantity, average cost at the time of the end date provided. Our final change to the reporting module is adding the ability for a single user to schedule the same report more than once. Users may now schedule a specific report multiple times. When logged in and viewing a report page, each user will be able to see a list of their current schedules for that report and edit those schedules. Additionally, they can choose to create an entirely new report schedule if needed. Our next change is to inventory. For this enhancement to inventory, Bernard has now exposed the inventory online store properties to the Web API. Our final enhancement includes a new change to rapid entry. Rapid entry will now use the phone format setting to force a 10-digit phone number when required. If your database has been provided a default phone number format, we will require that users enter the set number of digits in order to save that phone number. If a user does not have the needed number of digits, they will have to check Override Format in order to save the number. Please contact support@mybernard.com if you would like to set a default phone number format for your database. This concludes the release webinar for the December 17th, 2015 release. Please direct all questions to support@mybernard.com.